It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning to you. Here we are on Thursday. The week is moving right along. Next week is Thanksgiving. Hard to believe, but true. And what's not hard to believe is that we have news to tell you.
Yeah. A week from today, though, is Thanksgiving. That is pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We will begin some news. If you live in South Springfield or do business in South Springfield, including the hospitals, you likely had to boil your water this past weekend. That after a 36-inch water main broke. City Utilities says the water main separated from a connection to a 48-inch transmission main. The damage was near Battlefield and 65, so they worked on that. CU also says the equipment failure on a retaining ring at the Blackman water treatment plant. They've been working on that as well, which, by the way, is pretty common. I mean, we have been in the news long enough to know that equipment breaks and there are boil orders all the time, just typically not in Springfield. But with the season change, temperature change, engineers say this sort of thing can happen. Students who are at Ozarks Tech, formerly OTC, can now more easily transfer over to Drury to continue their education. The two schools have a new partnership for students who earn their associate degree at Ozarks Tech and then want to go on to Drury to get their bachelor's. This is mainly for more high demand fields like cybersecurity, along with mechanical and electrical engineering. Those are in high demand. Those students can take part in a new grant initiative that will help lower the cost to make that transition. But also, if you are in good academic standing at OTC or at Ozarks Tech, you do have guaranteed acceptance over at Drury.
That's cool. I love
it.
I'm a fan of community colleges. I think for many students, it's a great stair step into traditional college. You can get a better idea of maybe what you want to do or not do and feel it out a little bit for a lot less cost in most cases. So I'm a fan. The old Bass Pro Warehouse is coming down. We've told you about this. It's at Sunshine and Grant, right behind Bass Pro. You really see it off Sunshine. It used to be a Kmart store. Many of you probably remember when it was. If you haven't been by recently, half that building is now gone, torn down, and still no word on what Bass Pro plans to do once it's all the way down, what they're going to do with that property. Maybe nothing for a while, but something's coming.
I know. I'm excited about it just because it's surely going to be cool. What is it? I don't know, but it's surely going to be cool.
It'll be very cool. It'll probably take 10 years to build.
Yeah.
And we'll all be waiting with anticipation to see what it's going to be. And it'll be a new thing that USA Today readers can vote number one, I'm hoping.
That's, by the way, that we literally have zero inside information, or at least I do. Do you have inside information?
No, I don't.
Okay. Just checking. Because sometimes we do, but not today.
Not today. So if anybody has it, pass it along. I just want to know what's going to be there. I won't even tell anybody on the podcast if you tell me not to. Hey, if you're predisposed to Alzheimer's, and a lot of people are these days because it's in their families, there's even more reason to work out. Sarah puts this story in every time that she sees it for me.
Sorry, babe.
My mother had it. But no, it's a good reminder, and I'll maybe start tomorrow. Researchers say it will greatly improve your chances of not getting dementia. Working out will reduce your chances of getting dementia. A new study shows that exercise decreased the risk of Alzheimer's by a full third, 33%. That's pretty incredible. Good cardio health was also delayed by almost 18 months. Delayed Alzheimer's by almost 18 months in older age for those who work out. So if you're going to get Alzheimer's, they think good cardio at an older age will prevent it by at least 18 months. And the older you get, the more negative impact that not exercising has on your health. And I think that's probably true regarding everything. But in this case, talking specifically about Alzheimer's and dementia.
Okay, now to this, a new Huey Magoo's is coming to town. I still haven't been. Ethan and the kids have gone. They speak very highly of it, but I don't know why I haven't been. This time, it's another new location in Springfield because, they have one in Ozark as well. The new one is going in on Battlefield Road, just outside the Heritage, kind of across from the mall, really, not too far from the mall. So that's exciting. And it's not a new bank. Most new buildings in town are going to be banks, as it turns out, but this one's going to be a restaurant.
They are. Your restaurant. I saw that the other day. It's right next to where the new Architect is, the drive-through Architect place, out in front of the Heritage on Battlefield Fremont, and a new Huey Magoo's. So that plaza, they redid. They gave it a facelift, and that always seems to work well. When facelift.
It's exciting. I mean, I love Architect coffee, and then the Heritage looks amazing. And now this, I feel like it might be my new place to be, assuming I like Huey Magoo's. I just haven't actually tasted it yet.
You know what they have there, which is a trivia question. What kind of drink do they have there that they don't have anywhere else or almost nowhere else? Mr. Pibb. On tap.
Mr. Pibb. Yeah. Isn't their tagline the filet mignon of chicken?
Yes, Huey Magoo's. Yeah,
I remember that, and so I enjoy that tagline. That's good.
It is indeed. Walmart. This is interesting. Says people who make more than $100,000 a year are behind Walmart's sales growth recently. During the most recent quarter, U.S. sales grew at Walmart per store at 5.3% over last year. And interestingly, households making more than $100,000 per year accounted for 75% of those gains.
That's interesting. Also, how do they know that?
That's a good question. They have to. I don't know how they know that, but they pay to find that out, I'm sure. But what that says to me is that $100,000 ain't what it used to be, and a lot more people are making as a household $100,000 plus, because it's a competitive wage that you have to pay people because everything costs so much these days. Was that what it says to you?
I mean, I see where you get that train of thinking, and I don't disagree with it. But my actual initial thought was that maybe people who used to shop higher end grocery stores are now shopping at Walmart because of inflation. So you're still going to get a more competitive price at Walmart.
Get more bang for their buck.
I mean, we don't have Trader Joe's, all the more, I don't know, fancy ones. I'm trying to think of because some of the more fancy brands in Springfield have closed down. I mean, I'm thinking of a couple that we had on Glenstone. Can't remember the names of them, but they've since closed. But so I like your train of thinking and I understand it, but my initial reaction was that's because people are shopping maybe cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to find the best deal.
Right.
That's interesting. I don't know which of those could be true. Maybe both.
Yeah, maybe both. Yeah. Yeah. I just thought, honestly, that it was interesting how they knew people's household income because, some banks ask you that, or I guess all banks ask you that. But some companies will ask you that on surveys.
Yeah.
But Walmart doesn't send out surveys. I don't know. Or maybe they do. And we just haven't been selected.
They research, all these organizations all can research all sorts of things these days based on email, based on stuff you put elsewhere. So I don't know how they do it, but that I don't doubt that they can do it.
Correct. Same. Okay. Apparently, economists differed in their calculations of the estimated cost for a traditional Thanksgiving last year. So it's interesting because a couple of weeks ago, they were reporting that the prices were going to be up. Now they're going to be down. I don't know. This is what I do know. Last week, analysts said prices were going to be up pretty substantially, I thought, for a traditional Thanksgiving meal. We did the math. I was like, what? That seems nuts. But now the American Farm Bureau Federation, which is typically the one who puts out this report every single Thanksgiving, they say the cost is down over last year. The organization is predicting that for 10 people, it'll cost right around $58 to feed 10 people the traditional Thanksgiving meal. Now, that's a 5% drop over last year. So that's great news. But here's the catch. It's still 19% higher than it was pre-pandemic.
Right.
So if you look at pre-pandemic numbers, which, you know what, we're not going back. We've figured that out. But that's a substantial increase pre-pandemic. Anyway, so for now, the reason the overall cost is down is because apparently turkeys are cheaper this year.
Okay. Well, that's the biggest factor whenever you're buying for Thanksgiving is the bird, how much you're going to pay for that.
There you go. Now you know.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're not going back to pre-pandemic. The prices went up, and then it's easier just to keep them there than to lower the price by 19% or even 15%. Right.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, although we have seen many grocery stores, we've seen in the last probably 6 months, prices start to come down on some things, and they're making a big deal about it. You know, price drops on 1,000 products in our store or things like that. So there's a little bit of progress, but it ain't going back to pre-pandemic. You're right. That's a shame.
It is.
Tis the season. Thanksgiving is a week from today, and don't forget that this Saturday is the mayor's annual tree lighting ceremony in downtown Springfield at Park Central Square. The live performances start there about 5:45. Tree lighting at about 6 or so. Lots of freebies, including selfies with Santa, which are always fun. You can ride on the Holiday Express train. There'll be some cookies and hot chocolate there for the kids. Ice skating at the ice park. So it's a good time, and it will get you in the holly jolly spirit, I think.
That's right. Yeah. If you're a Grinch, head that way, and it'll correct all the issues.
Or you'll ruin everything.
Or you'll ruin everything. One of the two. One of the two. Also, we want to tell you that today is the day. Later today, we will be drawing the winner at aroundtheozarks.com for our Branson Bowl. So if you have not yet registered to win, go ahead and do that, because someone is going to win Chiefs tickets to the December 8th ball game versus the Chargers. This is Chiefs versus Chargers at Arrowhead Stadium, December 8th. You will also win some Branson as the official vacation destination of the Kansas City Chiefs, customized gear. So go right now to aroundtheozarks.com, scroll down, click on Branson Bowl, and then you will need this keyword to enter, Ethan.
The keyword is resorts.
There you go. That's the keyword. So go play, because somebody's got to win, and it's cool. It's fun to go to a ball game like that for free. Couple tickets.
You bet.
So.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. I think that's it. Anything else that you would like to add, sir?
No, tomorrow is Friday, and then we start a holiday week. And
we're going to see if the wind can die down a little bit today compared to yesterday.
Oh, yeah. It was windy yesterday.
It was nuts.
Yeah. My hair was a mess, and I didn't even realize it until somebody told me. Guys don't get the windblown look that works out well like the women do. Supermodels have the wind. They have blowers. They have
like fans on purpose.
Yeah, blowing their hair. And
I mean, I know all about that. I know all about that since I'm 6 foot and everything.
It happens to me, and I look like there's a problem. I've had some sort of problem. So anyway, the wind it will be better today, I hope. But at any rate, tomorrow's Friday, and we'll live it up on the weekend. Next week, a holiday week, which is very exciting. And really, next week ushers in. It's like a holiday season. You can't deny it anymore.
Yep, it's true. All right. See you later. Have a great day.
See you.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Thursday. We are starting off with temperatures that are chilly. We're in the mid-30s for the most part, a few down near 32 degrees this morning, but I think most will hover just above that critical number, and we will see a cold day across the Ozarks today, too. Now, some good news in the forecast is that today is not as windy, and without the wind, or at least without as much wind as what we had around yesterday, that wind chill factor will be a little bit better today, but I only have highs in the mid-40s. It's going to be a downright cold day in the Ozarks, but another dry one with temperatures making their way to the middle 40s. Cold and kind of just not very nice across the area today. We have cooler than average temperatures. These numbers are below normal. Typically, we'd be seeing temperatures in the 50s this time of year. Not so lucky today. 46 for that high temperature here in the Springfield region, still a north breeze. Below normal temperatures, dry conditions across the area. That's not just true for today, but I also have cool and dry conditions in store for us on Friday. It does still look like conditions will be cooler than average by the time we get to Saturday, but then temperatures recover for us a little bit and we'll be climbing up slowly as we head into the weekend forecast. Temperatures will at least be near normal for the weekend forecast, so things look a little bit better. I do have a dry weekend on tap for us in the Ozarks. So if you're looking ahead, trying to make some outdoor plans, pick up some of those leaves that fell with those windy conditions yesterday, this weekend looks like it's going to be possible and numbers will feel better over the weekend than what we're experiencing out there today. I do have rain chances back in the extended forecast. They're really going to arrive, though. Long-term models are indicating that it's the middle of next week, which is a very important travel time frame, of course, because next week somehow is Thanksgiving. And we are talking about rain chances for the middle part of the country that could come along with some wet conditions for travel, both Wednesday and Thursday of next week in the Ozarks. So this is your very early heads up that we could be dealing with some less than perfect weather for the Thanksgiving holiday. If you're traveling, staying here in the region, just know you may be dealing with rain. So you'll want to watch the timing of that forecast very carefully as it becomes a little bit more clear as we get closer to that in the forecast. Today, it's a sunny one, 46 in Springfield. There could be a few folks that make it to 50 today, but I think 40s will be the norm. Mostly sunny across the region today, tomorrow, Saturday, and then by Sunday, we start to add some of the cloud cover back into the forecast, but I have us staying dry through about Tuesday of next week. Temperatures get better. I told you we'll be back close to normal by Saturday. Temperatures will be near 60 degrees. I think we're in the mid 60s by the time we get to Sunday. And then numbers next week look near normal too. But of course, the big story next week is going to be those rain chances for the middle part of the country, both Wednesday and Thursday. Around the country, the weather just continues to be super active. In fact, it's a back-to-back storm system, 1-2 punch for the Pacific Northwest. Storm systems just continue to hammer the West Coast through the end of the week. This is going to bring heavy rain, life-threatening flooding possible for portions of the West Coast. This comes along with strong winds. And in the higher elevations, they are talking more snowfall out on the West Coast. Also, heavy snow taking place through parts of the central Appalachians, and then some bursts of snow possible for the Northeast today. Primarily, that is happening in Pennsylvania. So very active all across the country. In comparison, things are pretty calm for us here in the Ozarks, at least today and through the weekend. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia questions for the day. And the question today, another Thanksgiving one for you. What movie holds the record for the highest grossing weekend in Thanksgiving history? Do you think it is A, Frozen 2, B, The Hunger Games, C, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, or D, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone? Well, it wasn't that long ago that this one made the record, and it is A, Frozen 2. Frozen 2 actually hit the box office on Thanksgiving weekend, and it took in $130 million on debut weekend. Now, this Thanksgiving holiday weekend, we are talking about competing for that. Disney going for it again. They are going to release Moana 2 and see if they can break that record this holiday weekend. We will see. I have some kiddos that are probably going to be excited about that Moana 2. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. True or false, the Pilgrims referred to themselves as pilgrims. Do you think this was true or false? Let me know your guess. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather with me this morning. And thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. I'll chat with you again early tomorrow. In the meantime, add an extra layer to that outfit today. You need the hats, the gloves, and the thick coat. High temp of 46, but sunshine all day.